YouTube? YouTube, we're on live today. Um, Honestly, I have only done YouTube once before live, so I'm hearing YouTube is the new way to go. So I'm trying to open up and try some new stuff. So today, I'm gonna basically do our Mean Green show live. But the cool thing about doing it live, I'm gonna be taking questions that I received from Facebook, but also you can't see her, but to this side, Harmony's here. She's not gonna be on the mic, but something deep down tells me that she, her voice is gonna be heard. So again, I'm gonna be taking questions directly from Facebook. I put up a post the other day, and I asked what are some topics that you would like for me to discuss on the Mean Green Show. And the cool thing about it, we received numerous amount. I said I needed 5, and got way more than 5. So you get to kind of see if you're on YouTube how this is done. So I'm gonna just actually do a real quick test to make sure everything's cool. Then I'm gonna jump right into it. All right, right now it's just a testing 1, 2, 3, and I don't even know if it's recording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and boom. Let's see if that picked it up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it did. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be my tone of voice, and then if Harmony says something, she would say a word.
Yo, 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 it's your girl H Money.
Hold up. Let's see how she sounds, just in case. Voice, and then if Harmony says something, she would say a word.
Yo, 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 it's your girl H Money.
Hold up. Perfect. So she's in the background. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this for the sake of time. I do appreciate everybody for subscribing and commenting. I did get a lot of feedback from my last podcast with Jason on making the podcast a little bit longer, and that means a lot because initially we didn't want to bore people out, so we try to keep them under 15, 20, 25 minutes at the max. And for you guys who want way more than that, that's super cool. So thank you. All right, so let's go right into it. We can get this party started. And what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's a good day to be alive. No, seriously, it really is a good day to be alive. Actually, I had a dream last night. It scared the crap out of me. I don't really want to go in depth on what I dreamed, but man, it really put me in perspective where life is so good right where I'm standing. And I was so appreciative of my family and for my friends and my current position and everything that I'm a part of. So when I was going through what I was going through in my dream, literally I woke up and man, I really just started giving thanks. So for those that can hear my voice, man, look, yes, you're up, and yes, it's great to be alive. Today, with today's podcast show, we don't necessarily have a topic, right? Typically when I feature somebody or I'm just hosting it myself, I have an outline and I go through different things. Today's a little bit different. And I'm on YouTube, by the way, live. So if you ever want to see the podcast show on live, just go to the YouTube page, which is at Mean Green Training. But today I asked a question last week on Facebook. I said, what are some topics, 5 different topics you want me to discuss? And then, man, everybody went crazy. So today I'm going to answer some of those questions. If I didn't get to your question, I promise it's not a personal thing. It's more of a time thing. And maybe I can get to every question, maybe not on this podcast, but maybe we can just continue this to another episode. So today, I am by myself hosting it, but I do have Harmony in the room, so she didn't want to mic up yet, but I have a great feeling her voice will be heard, or laughter, or something. But hold on, let's go into the first question. I don't know why she didn't just hook a mic up. But first question I have, shout out to Clarissa, okay, Walker. She's one of our trainers. She said, fear of starting your journey over. It's a pretty good topic. Erica Davis is commenting below her, and she says, that's great. That's a great one. You should do a panel of people who is in various stages of journey 2.0. You know what? I think that is crucial, and I want everybody to know you may see me or Harmony or Jason or Milton or Charlie or whoever on an Instagram post or Facebook, or maybe you see us at our workouts and you think that we've never started over. Tell them, Harm.
I'm starting over now.
Harm says she's starting over right now. And like my journey of starting over again was probably maybe November, December-ish, as I was ending the 2018 year. I injured my shoulder, and it was to a point where I couldn't even lift my left hand above my head. And I took off a couple of months from strength training, and I was a part of a run challenge where I would do some mileage, but it wasn't the same on what I'm used to doing. So I had to start over. So the reason why I'm telling you that story is just to be transparent for you to know that you're not alone when you have to start over. So I think the best way of not starting over, I give you 3 points for this one. Number one is never quit. If you never quit, you never have to start over. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to go through a segment where it's difficult, right? Like my shoulder, it hurt, right? Like I couldn't do anything with it when it comes to strength training. But if I can go back in time, I would have kept walking, or I'd have kept running, or I would have maybe joined yoga, or I would have continued to work on my mobility and flexibility. But what I did, where I made my personal mistake, I stopped doing what I could have done. All you guys follow me on social media, and I was on Mondays posting what? Mobility Mondays. When I hurt my shoulder, I stopped doing Mobility Mondays. Again, if I would have never quit, I could have been productive at doing something. But because of excuses, because of procrastination, because I was in my feelings, I stopped. So number one thing that I have for you, Walker, Clarissa, is that number one thing, don't quit. Again, I'm not saying that you won't be delayed or things may not move as fast, but we can get something done. So number one, to not having to deal with the process of starting over is never quitting in the first place. And then number two, the thing that comes to my mind is more so when you are trying to get back to where you were, understand it's a process. The day you stopped, if you were on level 7 out of 10, you cannot expect to be at level 7, right, Harm? When you're starting over again, you have to start from stage 1 to 2 to 3. And if I was to give you an example, if I was bench pressing 315 pounds as a PR, and that was my best, and I'm starting over, and then 6 months later, I can't expect to lift 315 pounds for my very first PR. It's okay if I have to start back at 185. I have to work my way up back to where I was at. So number two is just don't get discouraged when you're not where you were. It's a process. You stopped, life happened, whatever the circumstance is, you just have to build your way back up. So again, number one is just don't quit. Number two, understand it's a process. I have another one, but do you have one before I go that you want me to repeat? See, I throw you to the wolves. I don't play. Start laughing at me. My third one for dealing with those that have to start over is surround yourself with other people that's done it before, right? Like I believe that the people that come into the gym or the boot camps, the reason why they respect our trainers and coaches is not because we're perfect, because I know I'm not perfect. Harmony's pretty perfect, but I'm not perfect. But I believe the transparency of us telling them, like, I've been there before. I've had an alcohol beverage before. I stopped working out before. I lost someone before, or I've been dumped before. Whatever the circumstance may be, like, we've all been through life situations. And the whole concept of everything is, if you've been around someone that's done it before, it's a little bit more encouraging because you know they got through it because you see them today. So hopefully, Carissa, that answers your question. And again, we can go on and on about this because it's such a deep topic. But I think those are my 3 points that I'm going to leave you with. But you're a leader, and I'm continuing looking for you to do great things. And everybody else, man, just make sure that if you start something, your goal is to finish. It's not who's on your left and the right, how fast they're going. It's about you. So as long as you don't get caught up into what the Janes are doing in the world, and you do what you can do, you're gonna be all right. Cool. All right, Harm. That was a good question. That was a good one. So do I go in order, or do you want me to skip around?
Shake it up.
Shake it up. All right, so the way that I'm gonna shake it up, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna just hit the mouse, and y'all, those that are on YouTube watching live, I'm just gonna swipe down, boom. Oops, I did the whole page.
That's
Okay,
not
hold
wrong.
on. Now I can see Desi running 8 miles. Hold on. Let me go back. All right.
Right down.
Other way?
No, keep going down.
Down this way?
Down. Then you
That was a good swipe.
Very good.
All right, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. All right. Rhonda. Rhonda works out at the Northside location. Rhonda asks for us to talk about trusting the process and consistency. This is a good one because it's kind of like she read what I was doing, and now she's like putting me on point to talk about this in front of everybody. Trusting the process is such an important part of life, right? Not just with fitness, but marriage, being a parent, being a child. If anybody have any leadership role, or if you're following leadership, I believe trusting is very difficult. All right, not just trusting what someone's told you, but trusting in general is difficult. So when someone tells you that every time you get on the scale, sometimes you may lose weight, sometimes you may not lose weight, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that every time you get on the freaking scale that you're gonna lose weight. But no, baby girl, you must trust the process. My brother from another mother, look, man, like every time you touch the barbell, you can't add an extra 5 pounds to your PR. You have to trust the process. It's interesting that this is even asked because this past week, a couple of my team members of our Beast program wanted to switch some things up because I believe personally that they didn't really understand the whole concept, right, Harmony, of everything that we put into the programming.
Process.
And it was so cool for me to talk to Wes and Allison and Tiffany and JP after one of the boot camps. They wanted me to go more in depth with it, which, no, you know me, I don't care. So I was able to break down the importance of the program and the reason why it's aligned with that, the reason why we are doing some of the movements to help them improve the structure of their movements. And it was so cool, Harm, once we finished, Wes looked at me and he was like, so, you telling me I just need to trust the process? And I was like, yeah, man, you just got to trust the process. And, you know, part of success, we want it faster, right? So, like, if someone's lost 30 pounds before, they want to continue to lose weight at that format. And then when things slow down or when you have other things that are on your plate that you have to get done as well, sometimes you want to be able just to get it and go. And unfortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately, fortunately, I'm going to switch it. Fortunately, we have the opportunity to learn as we continue to move forward. So, Rhonda, I'm so glad that you asked the question about trusting the process, because part of trusting the process comes to the second word you mentioned, which is consistency. You cannot just trust the process at the beginning of the new year when you make your New Year resolutions, right, Harm? Like, you still have to believe in the proven system that you joined or that you're following in the month of March, in June, in September. Because if you break the consistency of trusting the process 3 months from now, what good does it do to even start it?
It all depends on the process as well. You can burn yourself out if you're not trusting the right process.
Yeah. I don't know why she don't have a mic. I don't know why she don't have a mic. I wonder if I probably would mess it up if I start switching settings, but her audio obviously is not going to be as clear because she doesn't want to be in front of the mic or the camera. But basically she was saying that's why it's so important to select something that you believe in and it's the correct process for you. So what I mean by that, if you're trying to lose weight, for an example, and then someone's trying to teach you that you just need to work out and you can eat what you want, that's trusting the wrong process. Like, do your math, do the science, do the X and O's before you just join something. I see that so quickly on social media. You can, yeah, it's my show, so I can say how I want to say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Somebody can have a banging body, and then they'll make their Instagram page up as their personal trainer, just because somebody told them they have a flat stomach, or just because somebody genetically, or maybe they, not even genetically, maybe they played a professional sport and for the last 20 years they've been working out, and the dude's super swole, and because everybody compliment how swole he is, he starts an Instagram page and tell you what you can and can't do. Like, listen, man, listen. Everybody that you see on social media is not who they say they are, and I'm not trying to embarrass or call out anybody specifically, but because I love you, because you listen to the Mean Green Show, I just want to be open and honest with you, man. Make sure you select the correct person or the correct system for the results you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to lose weight, follow something that's proven that has helped people lose weight. I think that's so cool when you come to our gym or boot camps, Harm. We had the makeover orientation the other day, and Brittany was on the video, so I asked Brittany to speak before.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of the ladies that did the makeover was there, and I remember some of the newbies that came to the orientation was like, hey man, that girl really, she's still part of the program? Like, she's here? I was like, what did you expect? And she was like, well, sometimes I see before and after pictures, but I've never seen the person for real. She really looks like her after picture.
Wow.
Right? And then another lady that, shout out to my girl, I'm gonna say her by name, my girl Mo.
Mm-hmm.
She said, man, I never knew all these people at this gym had a before picture. Like, it really touched me, because she was like, I looked at Brittany, and I seen her before picture, and I was like, whoa, she has a before picture. I looked at, she couldn't believe Kim had a before picture. She couldn't believe, like, it's so cool to have a service now over a decade where people now believe in us in that way. And I'm not just tooting a horn just to toot it, but I'm really proud of what's been developed with the Mean Green family. But that, again, with the Mean Green Show, we're talking weight loss or muscle gain because we're known to help change people's bodies. But man, like, let's be real. If somebody called me about some counseling advice about a marriage, I'm like, hey, like, me and Tina trying to figure this out ourselves. We just 4 years in. Like, go to someone that has
License.
yeah, like, they're licensed to teach you, or at least the experience, right? Like, me and Tina haven't had the hardships of what a 20-year marriage will be. Now, I can give you recommendations off of what I've seen the first 4 years, but I'm just giving you an example. So seek out history, seek out proven track records of what they've done. But Rhonda, I think that's so great that you have the mindset to even learn or even mention trust in the process. It is not the easiest thing in the world. So if I was to leave you with 3 points, real quick, Rhonda, I'm gonna do my 3 points in 1 minute. Point number 1 is patience. Patience. It is difficult, right? Like, patience with your kids, patience with, like, yesterday when Facebook and Instagram was off, like, I was going crazy.
Everybody
Right?
was.
Like, the whole world going crazy. It's just down for one day. But have patience. Once it came back on, it was all good. So number 1, man, have
She was still
patience.
down.
Number 2, this is a good one, and this is to me as well. You are your worst critic. So when you're judging yourself, when you're telling yourself you're not good enough, or you can do more, or you're comparing yourself to someone else, just remember you are your worst critic. People will come up to you and be like, girl, you're looking good in your face. Your clothes fitting you good. And you'll be like, nah, I ain't really doing that. Like, look, stop it. Like, listen, stop it. Compliment yourself when you do well. Receive positive feedback. Like, it's so funny, Harm. People receive negative feedback easy before they receive positive feedback.
Yes.
Somebody can be like, man, your form bad. And you'll be like, yeah, I'm working on it, man. But if
It's all
somebody
mindset.
yeah.
Because if you're thinking that way about yourself, it's easier, you correlate with that, like you feel that. Versus somebody saying something positive and you don't feel that way about yourself, you're not gonna take that.
Harmony's corner. Hey, wait. Okay. Next time y'all see Harmony, be like, grab your mic next time, girl. So she's saying, like, a part of self-doubt and the reason why you sometimes accept what's negative is because you think it too. And she got on me a little bit earlier this week about speaking things into existence, right? So, like, just make sure one of the ways to defeat your mindset or things that your mind tell you is by verbally saying what you declare out loud. So if I say, man, today's gonna be a bad day in my head, it's totally fine to start speaking every time to someone, man, today's gonna be a great day. Harmony, man, today's gonna be a great day. Today we're gonna change a life. Today I'm going to be productive, right? And then you can find yourself more likely to do something productive or having a good day instead of just dwelling in a bad day. Third point on, I said trust in the process and now consistency. The cool thing about consistency is really doing what you need to do and not what you want to do. That's the biggest thing I've learned with consistency. Weight loss, muscle gain, eating right, being a better husband, being a better father, following my faith, whatever it is not about doing what's comfortable and what's easy, but it's all about doing what's right, what needs to be done, and what sometimes make you feel uncomfortable. I believe you can do those three things. You'll find consistency, and you'll also find yourself doing a better job at trusting the process. I'm hoping that my answer and Harmony's opinion helped you a little bit. All right, am I going in order or am I strolling down a little bit more?
I mean, you're strolling kind
That
of.
strolling was pretty bad. All right, do I go to the next one or do I go down 2, 3? You call it.
Oh, the next one's kind of long.
The next one's long. Here, I'm gonna read it. Hopefully I read good. Y'all know me and my grandma. Tim actually, he's a twin. He's a twin. He went to high school with me, and the basketball team had to run a mile or a couple miles, and I struggled on that. He didn't. Like, he in high school, I want to say he was running like 4:30 miles, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Him and his brother, they were incredible. But let me see what he's saying. He says, staying dedicated during the year, getting past injuries and moving forward with your fitness, being mentally tough to get physically fit, fighting through the losses of fun runs or goals, and coming back stronger. All right, you said it's all me. So this is a cool thing. It's you say he's talking to me personally, huh? Is that what you're saying? All right, Tim. So this is cool. Harm said it's kind of directed to me a little bit, just because I talked a little bit about my injury that I have with my shoulder, and what I'm learning now with professional help. Right? I always thought it was a certain kip. You know, I thought it was my kip. I was working on my kip at that time, and I was trying to do a pull-up. I was like, man, 200 pounds hanging from a barbell, from a bar, and I'm trying to shift my body and bring it all in one motion up to the bar to my chest. Man, my body weight is too heavy for that. And then what I've learned since then is that my muscle groups are misfiring, right? I'm doing a couple of warm-up exercises to warm up my shoulder, but I'm not warming up my lats. I'm not warming up my delts. I'm not warming up my tricep or core or hip flexors before doing that motion. And when doing the kip, you have to activate your core. You have to activate your lats. It's so many things you have to do beyond just doing a couple shoulder range of motion movements. And I believe that's why I injured my shoulder. So part one of your question on how to move forward towards fitness after an injury is, number one, educating yourself on what happened in the past. Because part of the fear of overcoming an injury is not doing it again. That's the last thing you want to do, is injure yourself again. And the way you don't injure yourself again is not by never doing the exercise, it's by doing it correctly. So again, for my runners out there that would like to run 3, 4, 5, 8 miles, first and foremost, I'm praying for you. I just don't know how you do it. But also, if you're a runner and you never studied the importance of the type of shoe you're running in, and maybe you start creating shin splints, or maybe your hip flexors became too tight, or whatever the circumstance is, a lot of that can simply come from running in some Cortez Nike shoes that are not meant for that type of running, right? So again, that injury might have happened because of the type of shoes you had, not because you ran, right? So number one, I don't know what you're working towards or where you're working from when it comes to an injury, but educate yourself on what happened with the injury so you won't do it again. Number two, staying dedicated during the year. What I personally do, man, this is what I do, Tim. I'm gonna be honest. I set little obstacles in front of me that I'm going to participate in, and it keeps me consistent during the year. One of the things that I do every year, as of the last 3 years, is the Spartan race. And it's not because I like crawling in mud. It's not because I like waking up at 4:30 in the morning to drive an hour, right, Harm? It's more so that I know if I spend $150 to participate in a fitness event, then I'm going to show up because I paid that amount of money, number one. And number two, when I get there, I have this sickening pride that sits in my heart that if I show up, that I'm not going to give up. So if that's the case, to make Chris Green the best Chris Green that day, I have to put Chris Green in preparation mode leading up to that competition. So I don't know if you're still running like you have been, but it may be joining a 5K or 10K or a half so you can prep and get ready for it throughout the year. So schedule different competitions, or it don't even have to be a competition. It may be going to Colorado to go hiking. It may be whatever physical activity that is for fun, but you have to be in physical shape to do it. Snowboarding, or it may be going to go, I don't know, swim or triathlon or strongman. It can be any type of one of those things, or just an experience or a vacation. But set those throughout the year, and that keeps you motivated. Not a trip though. And this is just a personal opinion. Harm might disagree with me. Some people can set a trip and be like, I gotta have my body right. I gotta have my two-piece on. I'm taking my shirt off at the beach. Right? See, I smack my lips.
No, I don't know who
Gotta
does
do a
that.
good job.
Is that supposed to be me?
Yeah.
That's not me.
You don't do it like that?
No.
Oh, how you do it?
talk like that?
How you do it?
I don't smack.
You be like, I gotta put my bathing suit on. Two-piece. And Mama said she gonna do a thong.
Oh, you got it on camera. You declined on camera.
Oh, that sucks. Tell Juice I'm on a podcast. Can you text him and tell him? But I'm sorry. So the reason why I say I do not recommend personally just doing it to take your shirt off on a cruise ship is more so because those things are not a performance type thing. Because if you're saying, hey, I want to take my shirt off, or for a cruise ship, my guys want to take a shirt off, or my ladies that are doing it for a bathing suit, when things get difficult or the weather's not so good, what you would do is be like, I'm gonna just put a cover up on my two-piece. Or the guys be like, man, I'm just gonna wear a shirt. But if you know you have to do the Spartan race, if you know that you're going to California to walk up a steep mountain, like if you know it's a performance type instead of a visual, you're more likely to be consistent. Again, it's just my opinion. And then being mentally tough to get physically fit. Such a good question. The thing that jumped off to me is to challenge the mind. I think that's the importance of working out, right, Harm? Like, the cool thing I like about Beast class or strength and conditioning class or boxing, one of those type of classes when something's difficult but you push through, what you're doing is training your mentality. And what I see time and time again, if you do workouts that are just workouts that you plan, that you know you're gonna have an easy course of getting it done, then you're more likely to just do what's easy, and then you're not challenging yourself mentally. But on the flip side, the reason why I like doing I show up to Jason's small group training class, or Charlie's Beast class, or work out with someone that runs faster than me at the park. The reason why I personally do that, because it mentally challenges me. And if it can mentally challenge me, I can definitely grow from being challenged mentally. Nobody on God's green earth has enough mentality strength where they don't need to gain it. I don't care if you're Kobe Bryant, Tony Robbins, all these people that we look up to, is some point where you can still grow. And I believe that's done. For me personally, that's done by working out, because it challenges you mentally. And also for me personally, spiritually, because spiritually it goes off into faith, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. So I can sense it. I can feel a certain way about it, but I cannot actually physically see it. And that makes me stronger in my faith when I believe and things still come to pass the way I hope and pray for them to be. But that's how I spiritually grow, and that's the same way we can grow mentally. So hopefully, Tim, that answers your question. All right, let's do a couple more. This is some good stuff. All right, next one I see is my boy Jesus. What's up, bro? Jesus, man. So cool story about Jesus, man. I started working out with Charlie, and he was one of the. I think he was the very first person I seen when I was working out when I got into the class, and he welcomed me with a lot of love, and he was a beast, man. So I used to try to, keep up with that beast. Who was that? Tips here. So yeah, Jesus has a question. His question is coming back from some off time, getting back into the gym routine. He wants us to talk about that. Since I'm giving everybody 3 points, Jesus, I'm gonna give you 3 points. Point number 1 of coming back from off time, getting back into the gym. The biggest thing. This is the biggest thing to me. Set a date and book it. Right. Think of vacation. Right now, 2019, I have not went anywhere. And I told myself that I was going to do 3 family trips. And I was going to do 3 business trips to help me grow mentally. And 1 guy's trip. So that's a total of 7. Is that 7? I think that's 7 trips.
So are you traveling for other people or for you?
Well, personally, I'm traveling for my business trips. I'm traveling for me. I'm a geek. I like to learn, but at the same time, I guess it helps other. My guy's trip is specifically for me. And then my family trip is for me, but it's also for my family. But with those 7 trips, Harm, I have not booked 1 trip yet. So right now, it's already, 3 months down in the 2019 calendar? Or almost 3 months down. And I haven't booked 1 trip. So the percentage of me doing those 7 trips, the percentage of them are now decreasing because why? I have not done any planning. I haven't booked any trip. But if I go to, I don't know, cheapcaribbean.com, y'all don't judge me. Y'all know y'all be on Cheap Caribbean too.
Or Escape Houston.
Escape Houston, right? So I'm cheap. But all those different sites where you can book a trip. If I go book a trip right now, I'm going. I prepare my schedule. I do what I need to do before or after to make sure it's gonna be done. But what does that mean? Yeah, I mean seriously, that's how I get it done. So what I'm getting to you with Jesus is that book your first class. Book your first session. Call, I don't know who you're gonna be training with, but whether it's Charlie or another gym in Houston or a personal trainer at the park or wherever, or maybe you're just working out on your own, book that session. Set that time. That's step number 1. If you can do that, man, it starts the momentum. And one thing about momentum, when you have it, it's great. Because you can tell me now, especially if you took some time off, when you do not have momentum, it is so hard to create. Right now, I can't ask Harmony. I can't say, hey, Harm, here's $100. Give me some momentum to want to do better or be more active. Like, when you have momentum and you got that swagger, you got to utilize it.
$100 though.
Why?
I say you can.
I don't have no cash. You take a debit card. Like, inside joke. But yeah, so Jesus, number 1, man, book a session. Call that trainer or set that workout time for you to get it done. And I believe that's step number 1. Step number 2, man, this is good. I like this step. Step number 2, do what you can, nothing more, nothing less. Don't have this expectation that you're not doing well because you haven't been working out or you got to get back to where you need to be. Look, man, if you do something today, is way more than what you did yesterday. And I believe, as we talked about with Rhonda's step, with consistency and just moving forward, if you can do what you can every day, nothing more, nothing less, every day you grow. I like to think of trees when I'm talking about this example. The difference between a stone and a tree is that a stone, no matter what it does, it exists, right? But it can never live. But a tree actually lives. But if you do the anatomy of a tree, every day a tree lives, it grows. But the day it stops growing is the first day it starts dying. So let's make sure that you feel like, listen to me, man, listen. And this is not just a Jesus, because I know he's not alone with getting back into where he needs to be. Like, do what you can, nothing more, nothing less. Like, if the workout says that you need to do, a 1,600 meter run, and typically it may have taken you 3 minutes to get that done, but now it takes you 5, that's totally cool. That's totally cool, because the next time you do it, it may take you 4 minutes and 48 seconds, and you just continue to get better. All right, so step number 1, book that session, get started. Step number 2 is simple. Do what you can, nothing more, nothing less. And then the last one I have for you is it's a quote that I use in a lot of our makeover programs that we have for people that are doing our 6-month or 12-month programs. And I always open up every single one with, if you prep to win, you're not prepping to lose. And I want to tell every single person that are ready to get back into a fitness routine, prep it out. And I'm not talking food. Prep out where you're going to work out and what time you're going to work out. If you're making your own programming up and workouts, write your workout out. Or if you're going to trust the judgment of your trainer, like, tell your trainer I'm coming, because this is what that does. If you plan to work out and you know what you're going to wear, right? You know where you're going to be going and what time, then you're scheduling out your success. But what happens is, you say, I'm going to start next week, and then Monday comes, you're like, oh, I have a lot of gym options. You know, me and Green offer a 5 or 6 in the morning, a 9 in the morning, and 12 p.m., and a 4 p.m., and a 5 p.m., and a 6 p.m., and a 7 p.m. I'm going to go to one of those classes. Then you look up, and then 7 p.m.'s here, and you didn't do any of it. So it's really important to fully commit to a specific class or time or a workout so you're not prepping to lose. Same thing when it comes to nutrition. You don't necessarily have to be food prep. It may be, hey, I'm going to Zoe's Kitchen at 12 p.m. At 3 p.m., I'm going to eat this snack. At 5 p.m., going to Salada. Like, plan out specifically where you're going to be going and what you're going to be doing. And then it will give you a lot more success, and it takes a lot of stress out the situation. So I hope that works, man. And then I'm going to my last one, and then my, what time is it? 3 p.m. for where I'm speaking is 2:57, but my 3 p.m. person's here, Tiffany Hill. She's here. Next question I have. Man, this comes from Pete. Pete actually works out at a gym that I'm very close with called Life Fit. He says, talk about shift workers and how it affects them physically and mentally, or perhaps office workers in general, and the challenges they face. Because basically, they work 12 hours, day or night shifts. Man. And maybe, he said, and also maybe a segment on intermittent fasting and how to train while fasting or doing something that natural. So that's such good, because, you know, some people do fasting because of diet, detox, cleansing, mental cleanses or whatnot. And then some people do it for spiritual reasons. So it's definitely something that we need to discuss on how to work out, or if you should even work out, right? And then the shift, you know what? This is what I'm going to do with Pete. We're going to have to take that topic to the next one, because I know I cannot answer that within a couple of minutes. It's just going to take some time. So Pete, not only did you listen to this podcast, but we're going to have you listen to the next one. And then I'll break it down, because it's going to take me some time. Bobby said, Bobby is Rhonda's husband. And he said for the podcast idea, what we should talk about is him. Everybody got quiet. Bobby, you're just incredible, man. You got a heart of gold. That's what you have. All right, but I do want to get him on a Wednesday show when we do highlight a team member. For you comes from Jennifer, my girl J-Mo, talking about balance. Balance is so key, because some of you have a husband, and then you have a couple children, and then you have a job, and then you're part of an organization, and then you got your church, and then you're part of the girls' crew, and then you want to hang out with the boys. It's like we all have so many things that are on our plate, and it's very difficult. It's real easy for us just to load our plate up with meat and not have to worry about, you know, the greens that are on our plate or the carb that is on our plate, right? It's real easy. But let's talk today, or let's end this podcast about how your plate must be colorful. And what I mean by colorful, Harm, the more color you have on your plate, nutrition-wise, the healthier that food is. So if all
I
you
don't
see
need
on your plate,
Fruity Pebbles and Cheerios either.
yeah, no, yeah, she said not Fruity Pebbles and Cheerios. I definitely agree. So balanced meals that are just all brown, that's not the healthiest thing for you. But if you see some brown on your plate, some red, some green, some white, some yellow, I mean, you're mixing it up and you probably have the macros that you need. So I'm using food as an example just to give you a visual, but I want to give you more of an insight when it comes to being a person that literally looks at how to be a mom, how to be a dad, how to work out, how to be a part of an organization. And the truth to it, J Mo, there's no perfect answer for the perfect person because there's no perfect person. I think what we have to figure out is what worked well for us. So for example, right now, before I met Tina, when I was like a teenager or in my 20s, I always told myself I was gonna get a wife and my wife was gonna cook, she was gonna clean, she was gonna do the laundry, she was gonna wake the kids up and get them ready for school, she was gonna pick them up, she was gonna help them with their homework, and I can keep going on about what she was gonna do, right? But the truth was that was not going to work well for us, right? Now, that might work well for another couple, but what we had to figure out was, you know what, Tina's tired too. So that means, Chris, you're gonna have to wash those stinky drawers. And Chris, Tina might pick the boys up from school, but Chris, your buddy to drop them off. So we had to create what worked well for us. And I'm trying to, hopefully that gives me a couple points at the end of the day, but I'm saying that to say this, figure out J-Mo and figure out everybody else that's in common with J-Mo, what works well. We know that we have to first take care of who? Right? Ourselves. If you're in an airplane and the oxygen masks fall down, they always say take care of you before you take care of someone else. Without you being healthy, there's no way you can be effective here if you're not here. So it's really important that you take care of your health, and your health comes down to moving your body and also putting what you need to put in your temple. That's number one. So when you're making your pie graph of what's important, and I know this is difficult to swallow, but the most important thing, I know it's tough, and I know I'm gonna get some feedback from this, but without you, you cannot help your family. And we're so quick to put, again, I know it's hard to hear, our child or our spouse or our sibling or our parent before us, and that sounds cool and it makes rap songs a little bit better, but the truth is that you gotta take care of you, man. Like, I'm no good father without being here, right? So make sure your pie graph, a large percentage of that pie graph, you have to take care of you. Second thing is, what brings you joy and peace? If my pie graph has me taking care of me and then doing everything for everybody else, but the thing that brings me peace and joy is not on my pie graph, how long can you stay consistent? And I see that time and time again. So many people wonder why they're not consistent, and they've been doing what they needed to do, but what was important to them or what brought them peace or joy, they're not doing. For me, peace and joy is for me to relax with my family, to put my guard down, to laugh, to celebrate, to watch sports. If I can't see my family, if I can't be around the people that I adore, if I can't see my Rockets and Texans win or lose, if I don't have that, then Chris is not the happiest person. So it's really important that you feed yourself what you need to feed yourself to have peace and joy. And then everything else, even up to according of what you need to get done. So I know personally, take care of Chris Green, because if Chris Green's healthy and Chris Green's here, then Chris Green can help his wife, he can help his kids, his dad, his siblings, his close friends, all his friends. He can lead the fitness leadership for those that believe in his philosophy. Like, without me being healthy, that cannot be done. So number one, I have to create something for me to be healthy. Number two, what brings me peace and joy, right? And then you put in hobbies or things that you have time for. I love playing basketball personally, but it's more of a hobby now. It doesn't put money in my pocket no more. So I don't play I haven't played basketball in a long time, but it's still a hobby. And if I had time, I would probably do it more often. But right now, it doesn't bring me peace and joy. It doesn't. It can help my health, I guess, make me healthier by playing because it's exercising, I guess. But long answer for a very short question. When you design your pie graph, J-Mo, make sure you're taking care of you. And add your family and friends in because I'm pretty sure that brings you peace and joy. And then fill the rest of your pie graph out accordingly. Obviously, we can go way in depth with this because it's such a detailed question. But I believe that can get everybody started. Hey, man, listen. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's show. Man, it's so many different questions. We didn't get to harm. We didn't get to talk about. Jason said form. Erica said remain consistent when unexpected things happen in your life. Different strokes for different folks. I like that one, Monica. Brian said how many supplements should one person take? Ashley Trevino, being physically healthy. The importance of recovery by Rory. How to bounce back after injury. We talked a little bit about that. Somebody else with intermittent fasting. Daniel, short-term losing weight and getting in shape ideas for specific things like weddings. Exercise and sex. Okay, Keisha, let's go.
Wait, what?
That's gonna be a whole segment.
I wrote that on my pocket.
Eating or choosing healthier foods, benefits of supplements, how to even out your muscles. For instance, I've been carrying children on my hip for the last 7 years, so my left side of my body is weaker and less developed by my girl Sarah. Hey, that's good. Like, I got an idea, but it'd be so cool to actually have a mom to explain the importance of balancing. So you said lyric walk. But man, there's so many different ideas, and we're gonna get to every single question. Maybe I can get Harmony or Jason or Charlie or Milton or Walker or Kevin or Ashley or Trey or Chelsea, somebody on, and we can get to talking about it. But hey, man, I hope you enjoyed this show. A couple of things that we do have coming up this weekend, this freaking Saturday. It is a no-brainer. It is the Boot Camp Explosion, baby. Get your family and friends. Make sure they attend. It's going to be at Herman Park. It starts at 8:30. Make sure you get there early for parking and registration. Actually, put the link below if you haven't got your ticket yet. You can get your ticket. Other than that, make sure you subscribe to Mean Green Training on Instagram and Facebook, and also on YouTube. We actually post this one a little bit early, so you don't have to wait till Monday when you come on and watch it live, but you have to subscribe to our channel. All right, other than that, I love you guys. Remember, don't just be a hearer of these words, but be a doer. Remember to believe, achieve, and receive. Harm, you got anything? Nah. All right. Say it with your chest. Say it with all you got. Let's go. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. You. That's it. All right, guys. So I'm glad you were able to tune in. The Mean Green Show every day. Get better. Let's go.